Okay, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'm not going to make a whole 10, 15, 20-minute video. But after observing multiple clips across TikTok about the Diddy trial, here are my thoughts. Diddy is 10 times worse than the real Nino Brown. Nino Brown was a fictional character on the movie called New Jack City. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. But I'm convinced that Diddy is the new Nino Brown, but worse. And the reason I say that is because not only did he dibble and dabble with substance use, but also with, all this escort activity, freak off. The freak off details were so horrific after listening to some of the stuff in the case that people have been showing. I'm just convinced that this man is a monster. And poor Cassie, I really salute her for being brave on that stand, because in case y'all have not been following this trial, they're only 5 days in. Cassie is 8 months pregnant. She could have went to labor at any time. And then they spent 5 days alone on Cassie's testimony. 5 days. 5 days. And within those 5 days, all it was freak off stuff. And it was graphic. Oh, it was graphic. It was bad. Put it this way. Y'all remember how R. Kelly went down for, the young girl activity and other stuff that he did to the women, as in relieving himself on the women? Well, it's similar, but worse. So some of the graphic details that I'll share that I came across that really disturbed me was the fact that Cassie testified that Diddy and a male escort relieved themselves in her mouth, caused her to have a whole bunch of STIs and sores that are not curable, that she has to live with for the rest of her life. And they were so painful that all the medicine in the world that she was prescribed wouldn't even help relieve the pain. That's disgusting. Then another graphic detail that Cassie testified about was the fact that Diddy was such a crazy, nasty monster and so sadistic that he watched the freak-offs themselves. He literally either participated in them with the male escorts, running trains with different strange men all over, God knows what. And then Cassie said that she went through hundreds of male escorts. Hundreds. That is sick. And then she also said that Diddy sat in a corner with his baseball cap on, dark sunglasses, and a bandana in the dark. And after they would finish their little freak-off activity, when she was messing with the male escorts, he was so disgusting that he basically told Cassie to get the man milk off of Cassie after they were done and rub it on his nips. You heard me. That man wanted another man's man milk rubbed on his nips. That's disgusting. And besides the substance use and all the escort activity that was super graphic, and some of the parts of the testimony, she actually cried in it. I felt bad for her. I really did. She also mentioned that Diddy's assistant, I forgot her name, but she's the ex-assistant now, and she's so mysterious that she shut down all her social media because she know what time it is. She's the one responsible for setting up the freak-offs, putting substances in people's drinks, getting them unconscious, and doing God knows what to them, along with Diddy. I was done. I said, you know what? And the worst part is that this trial is a total of 8 weeks. 8 weeks and 5 days is nothing but freak-off activity. I said, now I knew that the trial was going to be about RICO charges, racketeering, trafficking, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't know majority of it was going to include this freak-off stuff. They were not joking around with this freak-off mess. And yeah, that quite disturbing. That's all I can say. The whole case is quite disturbing. And I've heard also, besides Cassie's testifying, there's numerous people testifying. There's a man named Lil Rod, some music producer, said he was touched on by Diddy. He's testifying. Some of the male escorts that have been subpoenaed, they testified. Well, one of them has testified so far. But the most graphic detail of them all, besides the freak-off activity, was the one male escort that said that he was in fear of Cassie's life because he said that he thought that she was going to pass away. And the court asked him, well, why do you think that she was going to pass away? What, was Diddy threatening her or something like that? And he was like, well, yeah, but not only that, during one of the freak-offs that he encountered, she was passed out and she looked like she was going to OD. So he was smart by getting a spy camera. He set a spy camera on top of the table and recorded the whole entire thing and took it to the police. That was the smartest thing he did because he was trying to let the police know that he wanted no involvement in it and he was not trying to be a part of the crime. He was just simply hired for escort activities. And then the craziest part of them all is that Diddy paid this escort like $700 or $800 each time they did the freak off. Cassie says sometimes she would get paid $3,000 to $5,000. Now, mind you, she did agree in the beginning that she did want to do the freak offs, but you have to be rational for a minute. She was very young and very naive when she first came onto the industry. Cassie says she was only 19 when she met Diddy. Diddy was well into his 30s, okay? This is the 2000s, okay? This is when Kim Porter and all them was, still popping and locking at the time. And yeah, she really didn't know what she was getting herself into, poor thing. And she also admitted that Diddy promised her 10 albums. She only got one album produced, and the other 9 albums were never released. Do you know how much money she's lost? Do you know how many royalties she's lost? She got ripped off. Not only did she get ripped off and tortured like Ike and Tina, and basically controlled and manipulated pretty much, but she was also mentally abused, I'm pretty sure 1,000 times. But it was just quite disturbing. The whole entire testimony, graphic and disturbing. Oh, and then the part that really made me mad was when Cassie mentioned that she went through hundreds of male escorts. Hundreds. That's disgusting. And I believe her. I don't care what nobody says. I believe her. Cassie ain't got nothing to lie about, because when she sued Diddy, y'all remember when she sued him for that $30 million and he paid her off right away thinking that stuff wasn't going to come out? She sued him because she has a book coming out about all the freak off mess and all the industry crap. And he didn't want none of that information coming out. That's why she sued him for the book rights. Pretty much is what the reason why she did that. And after all of that, Cassie walked away with $20 million and still ended up being subpoenaed to testify. That's the only reason why she testified. She didn't volunteer to testify. They subpoenaed her, in case y'all are wondering why she testified. And I'm pretty sure she's in witness protection, because a lot of these witnesses are in witness protection, because I've heard that a lot of them were being threatened, which is no surprise, because Diddy got sources on the outside of the jail, because he has power, he has fame, he has money. I'm not surprised. But yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know my thoughts on the whole trial. It's disturbing. You got to brace yourself, because I can't imagine what else is going to come out this week with other witnesses that are going to testify, because it's so horrible. I said this is worse than the R. Kelly stuff. I don't care what anybody says. R. Kelly was a freak too, but not that goddamn bad. I'm sorry. Diddy's got him topped. He got everybody topped. That's a monster. This man is on a whole nother level. And word on the street is that Justin Bieber, is supposed to be testifying. They haven't subpoenaed him yet, but I heard that he's supposed to be testifying. I don't know how true that is, but I hope he does, because that boy's messed up too. I feel sorry for him. And I wouldn't be surprised if they subpoena Usher. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. But yeah, this stuff is crazy. It's getting out of hand. It's out of control. This is why I tell people, like, fame seems like it comes at a price. Hollywood is getting weird, and fame is not probably worth the risk at this point, from what I've gathered. And a lot of people have to do a lot of strange things for a piece of change to make it, sadly, in the industry. But in Cassie's case, she was just abused. She was just abused. It's awful. But yeah, I just wanted to share my 2 cents on the case. That's all. It's just horrible. Just horrible.